So the news is you've been diagnosed with ALS, or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. This is a very rare disease. Um, this affects your upper and lower motor neurons, so notably in your spinal cord, the cortical spinal tract, which controls a lot of your motor function, your cerebral cortex in your brain, as well as basically the nerves that come out of your spinal cord into and attach to your muscles, which would be your lower motor neurons. As far as etiology goes, this is a rare disease again, so zero point 0.6 to 3.8 out of 100,000 people worldwide have it. About 15 cases are diagnosed per day, and 30,000 people at any given moment can have it. So as rare as it is, you are not alone. Cases are expected to increase by about 69% by the year 2040, which is due to an increasing older population. So basically, just more of us making it to older age and contracting the disease kind of by a default. We are much more likely to get it after the age of 51, and up to about 66 would be the kind of hot spot time to be able to get it. 60 to 80% of the cases do begin in the limbs, from the distal parts of our limbs, like our fingers and feet. And this would be the spinal cord variety. And the remainder of them are bulbar, so they start in the face. Only about 5 to 10% of people who have it have family history of it. So though genetics play a factor, it's not an end-all factor to it. So, and even as the people with family members that do have it contract it, it's still, the progression and the time you get it as far as age is still very much random between the family members. No single risk factor is, again, an end-all determination to whether you are going to get it. But there are some that are known factors that can cause it, and some that are kind of still need more research, but kind of leaning towards a possibility that you can end up with it. So the known factors are age, as I mentioned, sex, males are more likely to get it, family history, again, about 5 to 10% of people with ALS have family history, and having a disease that caused this potential mutation in the past. So possible risk factors are neurotoxicant exposure, so basically to mercury, lead, pesticides, vigorous physical activity, so if you have a heavy manual labor job or just really heavy into athletics, training and whatnot, diet, so you have high saturated fats, high in pesticides, low in antioxidants, and low in fiber. Lifestyle plays a factor, so such as cigarettes and alcohol, and trauma, which could be to the musculoskeletal system, like fractures and whatnot, as well as electrocution to the point of you being unconscious at some point. So it is an upper motor neuron disease and lower motor neuron disease. It starts as a lower motor neuron disease as far as the symptoms. So you'll end up with muscle weakness, kind of, and muscle cramps, fasciculations, which is twitching of the muscles, and hyporeflexia, which is basically lack of reflexes, and hypotonicity, which is lack of tone in your muscles. It progresses to upper motor neuron symptoms, which is still muscle weakness, but now you're dealing with spasticity, or the basically just constant contraction of muscles, hyperreflexia, which is high in reflexes, and then it becomes bulbar, so facial stuff like drooling, muscle weakness of the face, issues talking, and basically laughing and crying when your emotions aren't consistent with it. It often ends up as a respiratory issue where you have issues breathing, and coughing up mucus and being unable to cough up mucus, which can lead to often your demise. So we got to exercise those respiratory muscles as soon as possible, as much as possible.